25 years ago, massive black pillars known as the Tower of Babel suddenly pierced the sky. Chaos erupted as chunks of the city were dragged into the air, surrounded by a strange, shimmering energy. Humanity was thrust into a mysterious game system where survival was no longer guaranteed. Demonic beasts poured out of the towers, and conventional weapons couldn't even scratch their hides. Just as the world reached the breaking point, a few individuals began to change. Those who touched the towers awakened miraculous powers, gaining skills that defied reality. These awakened professionals became the new front line against the monsters. But before they could even celebrate a moment of safety, a new nightmare emerged. A lethal, incurable affliction known as the tower disease began to spread among the population. Doctors were able to create medicine from monster materials, but it was far from a permanent solution. The treatment only suppressed the symptoms, leaving the sick dependent on a constant supply. With no other choice, humanity pushed further into the higher levels, desperate to find a real cure. Reporters swarm young Master Yeoxing, the head of the powerful consortium, demanding to know if his recent claims are true. He confirms the rumors. They believe the key to curing the disease lies with the dragon Muraborias. The crowd goes wild at the news of humanity being saved, though many remain terrified of the tower's mortality rates. Yeoxing smiles confidently, assuring everyone that his consortium has the perfect plan in motion. That plan rests on the shoulders of one man, the strongest mercenary in the world. On the 999th floor, Lin Xiu stands tiny before the gargantuan, multi-eyed maw of the abyssal demonic dragon. A massive tail sweeps through the air, nearly crushing everything in its path. Lin Xiu activates his blood-burning dodge, trading his own health for the speed needed to narrowly escape the strike. His eyes glow with perception as he scans the beast, his system interface highlighting every vulnerability. There's no clear path forward, so he unleashes arrow rain, filling the chamber with a lethal barrage of light. As humanity's last hope, the level 99 sharpshooter keeps his focus despite the overwhelming pressure. Lin Xiu, known as Sharp Eye, pushes himself to the absolute limit in this final floor struggle. The dragon's tentacles ensnare him, lifting him high into the air as he coughs up blood. Even as he's being crushed, he stares down the beast with a defiant grin, knowing he's close enough. He triggers ultimate severance, condensing his remaining life force into a single fatal strike. A massive explosion rocks the tower, severing the dragon's head and sending shockwaves through the 999th floor. System notifications flood his vision, confirming the death of Muraborias and the clearing of the final level. Legendary loot drops all around him, from the Wall of Sigh's shield to the full Muraborias armor set. Lin Xiu collapses, gasping for air as he realizes he actually pulled it off. Among the wreckage, a divine artifact appears, a green, crystalline fragment known as greed. He stares at the glowing artifact, convinced that this is the key to finally ending the tower disease. He whispers his sister Xiaoyu's name, finally seeing a future where she doesn't have to suffer. Suddenly, a cold voice cuts through the silence, praising the spectacular nature of the battle. Before he can react, a massive ice spirit manifests behind him, unleashing a sword of extreme cold. Ice shards pierce through Lin Xiu's body, pinning him to the ground while his breath hitches in shock. Out of the shadows walk his own teammates, led by the heavy-armored Taishan and the sorceress Su Wang. Blood spatters across the floor as ice spikes tear through his chest, shattering his armor. Lin Xiu coughs up blood, looking up at his allies with a mixture of disbelief and growing rage. A hand reaches out, callously plucking the divine artifact from the air. Su Wang looks down at him with a smirk, mocking how effortless it was to steal his prize. Lin Xiu chokes out a single word, demanding to know why Su Wang would do this. She just stares back with a cold, mocking smile, her ice-covered fingers brushing past his face. She doesn't even bother to answer, her silence speaking volumes as she relishes her betrayal. Lin Xiu, the level 99 sharpshooter, can only watch in disbelief. Another teammate stepped forward, mocking whether Lin Xiu was truly that naive. As the blade sliced clean through his arm, it confirmed that his trust had been misplaced from the very start. Wei Wuya towers over him, his expression twisted with sadistic glee as he mocks Lin Xiu's confusion. He reveals that killing him was just a bonus. Their true objective was the artifact. Wei Wuya, known as the Shadow Blade, laughs at the idea of a slum maggot like Lin Xiu negotiating with the powerful Yaoxing consortium. He's a level 99 shadow assassin, and clearly he's been waiting for this moment. He stands tall, a senior combatant of the consortium who views everyone outside their corporate circle as beneath him. His red eyes gleam with a predatory light as he looks down at his former leader. Wei Wuya pauses, noticing that Lin Xiu is still staring back at him with an intense, burning gaze. Even on the verge of death, the sharpshooter hasn't lost his edge. Lin Xiu is panting, blood dripping from his mouth, as his eyes remain locked on his betrayer. The raw hatred in his stare is enough to make even a seasoned assassin hesitate for a second. Wei Wuya leans in close, mocking Lin Xiu for playing the tough guy while he's pinned to the ground. He admits that he's been putting up with Lin Xiu's attitude for far too long. He drove the blade straight into Lin Xiu's eye, declaring he had been dying to do that for a long time. His laughter echoed through the chamber, a sharp, cruel contrast to Lin Xiu's silent agony. A massive hand suddenly stops Wei Wuya, telling him that's enough petty torture. Taishan, the tank of the group, decides it's time to get down to business. Taishan, the Wall of Size, is introduced as a level 99 Iron Wall warrior. He looks down at Lin Xiu, nodding that the strongest in the world is now nothing more than a punching bag. Lin Xiu can barely lift his head as Taishan inspects his wounds with a clinical, cold detachment. The betrayal is total, and there's nowhere left for him to run. Taishan mutters that there isn't a single patch of good flesh left on him, making him a useless corpse that won't fetch a good price. He has no sympathy for the man he once called a teammate. He tells Lin Xiu not to blame them, pointing out that it was Lin Xiu's own fault for repeatedly rejecting the consortium's invitations. Taishan grabs him by the hair, forcing him to listen. Taishan explains the cold, hard truth. The consortium's massive revenue comes from suppressants. They don't actually care about a cure. In fact, they can't allow one to exist because it's bad for business. He smiles wider, admitting that even they don't know if the cure will work, but they simply can't take the risk. For the consortium, greed outweighs the lives of the entire human race. Taishan declares that the business is done and orders Wei Wuya to finish it. Their mission is to confiscate the artifact and ensure it never sees the light of day. Lin Xiu can only gasp, blood dripping from his chin, as the weight of the betrayal finally sinks in. He realizes his entire journey was just a play for corporate profit. He curses them all, his voice a ragged whisper filled with pure venom. He condemns the consortium for their soulless greed while he lies broken at their feet. Lin Xiu admits he was naive to ever believe in them, his face hidden in shadow as he faces his final moments. His former allies just watch him, unmoved by his despair. Wei Wuya sneered, asking what he was mumbling about at death's door and telling him to learn his lesson in the next life. Suddenly, Su Weiying's face turned deathly pale as she realized something was terribly wrong. A blinding light erupts from Lin Xiu as he lets out a final, defiant laugh. The betrayers realize too late that he's not going down without a fight. The group panics as the energy surge grows, realizing Lin Xiu is trying to take them all with him. Wei Wuya shouts for them to stop him quickly, but the power is already spiraling out of control. Lin Xiu triggers his final ace, Abyssal Descent, sacrificing his own life to summon a sea of magma from the demonic realm. System warnings flash red across the screen as the tower floor begins to disintegrate. The entire area is swallowed by blinding red light as the sacrifice skill reaches its peak. There is no escape for anyone left on the 999th floor. Lin Xiu's final thoughts are of pure refusal, refusing to accept a world where greed always wins. He embraces the end, determined to erase those who wronged him. System alerts scream that death is imminent, urging the user to disengage immediately. But for Lin Xiu, there is no turning back from this final choice. Flashback, a younger Lin Xiu and his sister Xiaoyu kneel before their parents' memorial. They lost everything during the very first demonic beast attack. He was lucky enough to become an awakened professional, and from that day on, he dedicated his life to protecting his sister. He trained and fought day and night, fueled by that singular purpose. He fought with everything he had, climbing the ranks until he became the legendary sharpshooter the world looked up to. His skill was unmatched, his dedication absolute. The public hailed him as a saint, a beacon of hope for humanity in a world of monsters. But beneath the fame, Lin Xiu only cared about one thing: saving his sister. He reflects on how he thought he was doing the right thing, only to realize he neglected the person he should have been protecting most. Xiaoyu had been hiding her illness just so he wouldn't worry. The doctor's news was a devastating blow, revealing that Xiaoyu's condition had worsened in secret. Lin Xiu realized his quest for power had blinded him to the suffering right in front of him. In the hospital, Xiaoyu is hooked up to machines, her breathing shallow as she coughs into an oxygen mask. She tells him she's fine, still trying to comfort her brother even as her life fades. She tells him she finally won't be a burden to him anymore, her eyes filled with a tragic peace. The machines beep steadily, a constant reminder of the limited time they have left. The heart monitor suddenly flatlines, the long, continuous beep echoing through the sterile room. It's the sound of the world ending for Lin Xiu. Xiaoyu's final wish was for him to live a good life. Lin Xiu breaks down in tears, losing the one person he spent his entire life trying to protect. He questions the meaning of living in a world so empty and cruel. The memory of her voice haunts him as he faces his own end in the tower. Desperate voices fill his mind, parents begging Lord Sharp to save their children and help them find medicine. He realizes how many people were suffering just like him. He thinks about the people who have no money left for medicine and are forced to risk their lives in the towers. The systematic exploitation by the consortium becomes sickeningly clear. A close-up of a wide, bloodshot eye captures the moment of agonizing realization. The cure was right in front of them, but they were all just pawns in a corporate game. A photo of Lin Xiu and Xiaoyu shows them smiling during simpler times. He reflects on his humble wishes, to take his sister on a trip, buy her nice clothes, and see all the towers together. His desires are simple yet profound, born from a lifetime of poverty and loss. All he wanted was to see what the legendary towers had to offer and to provide a better life for those he loved. Back in the present, the world is fatting. Lin Xiu is filled with a burning hatred for the system and the people who keep others in the dark for profit, vowing that he doesn't want to see this happen ever again. System warnings scream in red, announcing that his HP has reached 0 and his life is about to end. Even as the light fades, his mind is fixed on the annoying bastards who betrayed him just when he was about to help everyone. He stares at the faces of his betrayers one last time, his vision blurry as the skill consumes him. His last thought is a singular, powerful command to kill the bastards who stood in his way. The floor of the 999th floor begins to disintegrate into shards of light and energy. The sacrifice is complete, and the tower itself seems to tremble at the force of Lin Xiu's final act. A mysterious green crystal, the artifact fragment of greed, begins to pulse with an eerie light as a system prompt appears. It has detected a desire so strong that it satisfies the conditions for activation. The crystal starts to shift and glow with rainbow hues, reacting to Lin Xiu's unyielding spirit. The tower's system recognizes the activation, confirming that the process has begun. A status window confirms that the binding is successful and the divine artifact fragment has been unlocked. The crystal merges with Lin Xiu's very soul, its power flowing through him even as his body dies. A celebratory message appears against a swirling purple background, congratulating the player on acquiring the great Sin divine artifact, greed. This is the moment everything changes for Lin Xiu. The scene shifts abruptly to a digital alarm clock showing 8:30 p.m. It beeps incessantly in the middle of a messy room, a far cry from the chaotic top floor of the tower. A fist slams down on the clock, smashing the plastic casing and sending screws flying. The noise is silenced instantly by the raw force of the strike. Lin Xiu sits up in bed, panting and drenched in sweat as he looks around his old room in confusion. He was certain he had just died, yet here he is, back in the slums. He clutches his head, trying to process the impossible situation as he looks at the debris on his nightstand. The reality of his surroundings is a jarring contrast to the memories of his final moments. Lin Xiu stares at his reflection in the mirror, his eyes widening as he realizes his face looks much younger than it should. He touches his jaw, trying to confirm that this isn't just another hallucination. A voice echoes in the room, asking him what choices he would make if he were given a chance to start over. Purple energy suddenly swirls around Lin Xiu's hand, forming a mark he recognizes all too well. A massive, serpentine spirit with glowing yellow eyes and ornate purple scales materializes behind him. The air in the small room grows heavy with the presence of a powerful ancient entity. The creature towers over Lin Xiu, its multiple eyes fixed on him with a terrifying intensity. It introduces itself with a voice that seems to vibrate through the very walls. The spirit identifies itself as Asmodeus, the demon god of greed. Lin Xiu watches in awe as the manifestation of the artifact he just acquired makes itself known. Lin Xiu wonders if the artifact merged with him back when he activated the suicide skill. The presence of Asmodeus is proof that the great sin of greed is now a part of him. Asmodeus promises to bring Lin Xiu into the abyss of greed and grant him the corresponding power. A status window appears, showing Lin Xiu as a level 1 archer, just like when he first started. Lin Xiu is stunned to see his old stats, realizing he has awakened a class even before entering the tower this time around. But as he watches, the information on the screen begins to distort and glitch. The serpent's multiple eyes narrow, its gaze piercing into Lin Xiu's soul. It repeats the word class, as if the very concept is beneath the power it's about to bestow. The status window shatters like glass, revealing a hidden, far more powerful title underneath. The old labels are swept away as a new identity is forged for the regressed hero. Lin Xiu is enveloped in a pillar of purple light as he receives the notification. He laughs at the irony, his eyes glowing with a newfound purpose as the energy surges through his body. The system officially congratulates Lin Xiu for awakening the hidden class, Lord of Greed. The transformation is complete, and the path ahead is now fundamentally changed. Purple energy continues to swirl around him as he feels the weight of his new power. This is no ordinary awakening. It's the birth of something that the tower has never seen before. A new message confirms that the hidden class is automatically bound to a unique exclusive weapon, the Bow of Greed. The weapon materializes in his hand, humming with dark celestial energy. Lin Xiu stands tall in his room, gripping the glowing purple bow with a determined look on his face. He has been given a second chance, and this time, he has the power of a demon god to ensure that his past mistakes never happen again. A system alert pings in Lin Xiu's vision, revealing a broken attribute. Every successful shot with his new bow will permanently increase his maximum health by 1. Lin Xiu grips the Bow of Greed, feeling the surge of power. The idea of his HP stacking infinitely just by attacking sounds like a cheat code from a divine artifact. Asmodeus isn't about to let him celebrate for free. The serpent spirit looms over him, reminding him that every massive power comes with an equally massive price. A daily quest pops up, satisfy the craving. To keep this power, Lin Xiu has 24 hours to land 30,000 valid shots with the bow. Asmodeus mocks the difficulty, noting that an ordinary person couldn't hit that many targets even if they worked themselves to death. The spirit's shadow looms large as it explains the gruesome mechanics. The tribute is the catch. For a shot to count toward the total, the target has to actually lose health, no just shooting at trees or walls. Asmodeus looks down at him with a predatory grin. At this rate, 30,000 living things might be hard to find in these quiet suburban streets. If Lin Xiu fails this impossible task, the punishment is severe. Asmodeus won't kill him, but the alternative is far worse. The spirit threatens to drag him to the hell of greed. He'll spend 1 hour in that nightmare realm for every single arrow he's short of his goal. Lin Xiu sees his own reflection in the serpent's glowing eye. Asmodeus offers him a way out. He can give up his identity as the Lord of Greed and go back to being a normal archer. He could just use his future knowledge to live a quiet life with his sister. He's still a sharp eye, and he could make a decent living without the risk. A cold, sharp smile spreads across Lin Xiu's face. He isn't interested in a quiet life of mediocrity. He weighs the physical strain of the quest. Even a high-level archer would hit their limit at 1,000 shots, and this bow draws at a heavy 200 pounds. Despite the insane odds, Lin Xiu accepts the challenge without hesitation. He's ready to pay any price to change his fate. Asmodeus lets out a low chuckle, pleased with the choice. The deal is struck and the path forward is clear. Lin Xiu watches the purple energy dissipate from his hand. He's coming for his debts soon, starting with the Yaoxing Consortium and every other bastard who betrayed him. Back in the present, the morning sun hits the quiet street outside. It's a peaceful scene that contrasts sharply with the violence brewing in his mind. Lin Xiu stands in his small room, looking around at the modest surroundings. A door creaks open behind him, catching him off guard. Lin Xiaoyu pokes her head in, grumbling about the noise. She asks if he's trying to tear the house down first thing in the morning. She points at the floor where the alarm clock lies in pieces. The small device didn't survive his sudden awakening. Xiaoyu huffs, reminding him that they don't have much living allowance left for the month. To her, a broken clock is a major financial disaster. Without a word, Lin Xiu pulls her into a tight, desperate hug. He doesn't care about the money or the noise. He's just glad she's here. He holds on to his sister, his eyes welling up as the weight of his second chance hits him. To see her alive and well is more valuable than any divine artifact. Xiaoyu freezes, completely baffled by the sudden show of emotion. This isn't the brother she knows. She starts pushing him away, telling him to stop being so weird. She jokes that he's acting like they're having some dramatic life-or-death parting. Lin Xiu forces a small laugh, hiding the pain in his eyes. He knows that in his previous life, Xiaoyu's time ran out just a year from now. She brushes it off and heads for the door to go make breakfast. She's just happy he's finally awake. Lin Xiu watches her leave, his expression hardening. In this lifetime, he will never let her die like that again. A series of heavy, violent bangs suddenly rattle the front door. Xiaoyu stops in her tracks, startled by the aggressive noise. Lin Xiu, open the door, I know you're home. The shout is accompanied by another kick that shakes the frame. Lin Xiu's eyes narrow as he recognizes the voice. It's a sound from a past he'd rather forget. He steps in front of his sister, his face going cold. He tells her to stay calm and stand behind him. The door flies open as 3 thugs barge into the small apartment. Chang Mao leads the pack, looking like he owns the place. Chang Mao steps forward with a sneer, demanding the money Lin Xiu supposedly owes. He mentions that Boss Yang is losing his patience. Lin Xiu stares him down, the memories of their previous collections flooding back. These men were the vultures that circled them when they were at their lowest. A memory flashes in his mind, the sight of his own blood dripping onto his hand. He had paid them back every cent, but it was never enough for them. In his past life, Chang Mao and his goons used to pin him down and beat him for sport. He was just a punching bag for their boredom. The goons would laugh as they tormented him, telling him it was too late for regrets. They enjoyed the power they had over a helpless pauper. He remembers Xiaoyu's voice, sobbing and pleading with them to stop fighting. It was a miserable, helpless existence. That helpless kid is gone. Lin Xiu looks at them now with the cold eyes of someone who has already died once. He tells them flat out that he's already paid the debt. He asks them what they're really here for. Chang Mao just grins, his eyes full of malice. According to his math, Lin Xiu is still very far from being clear. Lin Xiu brings up the topic of interest, catching the thugs off guard. Chang Mao is annoyed that the broke debtor is actually trying to negotiate. Chang Mao's face hardens as he reminds Lin Xiu that the rules of the trade don't change just because he wants them to. He's used to having the upper hand. He continues his lecture, telling Lin Xiu that blame lies only with those who borrow from Boss Yang. In his eyes, a debtor has no right to speak. He sneers, noticing a change in Lin Xiu's expression. That defiant look in the boy's eyes is something he isn't used to seeing. The fat goon in the white tank top steps up, demanding that Lin Xiu get on his knees and beg for mercy. He thinks he can still bully the pauper like they used to. Xiaoyu clutches her brother's arm, her voice trembling as she warns him that these men are awakened professionals. To her, fighting back seems like a death sentence. Lin Xiu just gives a small, knowing smirk. He knows exactly who these guys are, and in this life, he's the one holding all the cards. He confirms it to himself, Indeed, he is different now. He's done being the victim. He glances at his mental status panel, nodding that while his base stats aren't flashy yet, the physical boost from his new class is astronomical. The shimmering silhouette of Asmodeus appears in his mind's eye, chuckling at the realization. The spirit is pleased to see his host finally understanding the scale of his power. Asmodeus explains that the Lord of Greed attribute provides a boost 10 times stronger than any standard professional class. It's a massive advantage that breaks the world's balancing. But there's a downside. He can't gain attributes through normal leveling like everyone else. He's tied to a different system now. His only way to grow stronger is by completing the specific quests set by the greed system. Lin Xiu looks at the dragon mark on his hand, realizing that his path to the top is going to be paved with these challenges. The fat goon steps closer, calling him a brat and losing his patience. He hasn't realized he's walking straight into a meat grinder. Lin Xiu looks up with a predatory grin, his eyes reflecting a newfound bloodlust. He calls the thugs vampires and declares that things won't go their way today. In a blur of movement, Lin Xiu delivers a crushing kick straight to the fat goon's face. The impact sends the massive man flying backward like a rag doll. Changmao and the long-haired mage, Huangmao, are left staring in pure disbelief. They didn't even see him move. The big man hits the floor hard, his spirit literally looking like it's leaving his body in shock. Changmao can only shout out in confusion as his strongest muscle is taken out in one hit. Xiaoyu is equally stunned, her hands over her mouth as she looks at her brother. She's never seen him display this kind of raw power. Changmao's shock quickly turns to rage. He screams at Lin Xiu for daring to fight back and prepares to launch a counteroffensive. He claims he'll teach the boy the difference between a trash commoner and a real awakened professional. He's still underestimating the threat. The dragon mark on Lin Xiu's hand begins to hum with power, glowing a vibrant purple. Lin Xiu manifested a jagged energy bow from the mark, looking down on the thugs with utter contempt. He told them he didn't have a single second to waste on such small fry. Changmao's jaw drops as he sees the weapon. The realization hits him like a freight train. The pauper is an awakened professional too. Xiaoyu watches from behind, her mind racing. She can't reconcile the brother who struggled to make ends meet with this terrifying warrior. Realizing they were in over their heads, Changmao signaled his goons to swarm the archer all at once. Huangmao finally reacts, raising his gem-topped staff and telling Lin Xiu not to get too ahead of himself. A ball of fire begins to form at the tip. Lin Xiu is too fast, weaving through the attacks and delivering another brutal strike to Changmao. The thug's teamwork is falling apart under the pressure. He tripped the leader, sending him sprawling to the ground, his face twisted in sheer panic. The mage's fireball was inches from his face, yet Lin Xiu's expression remained unfazed. Simply put, he had a living shield right by his side. Why would he ever fear these pathetic Tier 1 fireballs? With a single kick, he shoved Changmao's back straight into the incoming fireball, causing the thug to let out a piercing scream as the flames scorched his body. With its leader now down on the floor, the mage suddenly realized it was trapped in the room with a monster that it stood absolutely no chance of defeating. The long-haired mage is sweating buckets, wondering where on earth this kind of expert could have come from. In a final act of desperation, he raises his staff and ignites a massive ball of flame, intending to take Lin Xiu down with him. But there was no time left for the mage to cast any spells. Lin Xiu immediately aimed his weapon straight at the guy's face. He draws an arrow back and points it inches from Huangmao's face. His voice is like ice as he threatens to slice the man into 100 pieces and hang him from a fire station. Huangmao is completely paralyzed by fear, his teeth gritting together as he stares down the glowing tip of the energy arrow. The staff falls from his trembling hands, clattering onto the floor. He drops to his knees and pleads for his life, surrendering completely. He knows that one more move means he's dead. Lin Xiu stands over the broken thugs, his purple bow still glowing. He asks Huangmao if he's done fighting or if he needs more convincing. Lin Xiu tightens his grip on the glowing purple bow, his eyes fixed on the remaining thug as he delivers a final warning. He makes it clear that any further harassment will be met with much more than a simple threat. Energy crackles around the manifested arrow as Lin Xiu pulls the string taut. The intensity of his aura creates a shockwave that rattles the small apartment, leaving no room for negotiation. Mao stares down the tip of the energy arrow, his face contorted in pure terror and sweat dripping from his chin. The sheer power radiating from the boy he once bullied is completely paralyzing. The energy release sends ripples through the air, visibly shaking the foundations of the dilapidated apartment complex. A blinding purple flash illuminates the hallway, signaling the end of the confrontation. With a cold, steady gaze, Lin Xiu dismisses the energy weapon. He states that he is more than willing to reason with their boss personally if they don't get the message. He orders Mao to pick up his unconscious companions and leave immediately. Mao, humbled and shaking, quickly complies while Lin Xiaoyu watches from the doorway, her expression filled with confusion. Mao scrambles out the door, carrying the weight of his defeated friends while shouting his desperate agreement. He disappears down the hall as fast as his legs can carry him, leaving the hallway suddenly quiet. Lin Xiaoyu turns to her brother, her wide eyes searching his face for any sign of the person she knew. The silence between them is heavy with the weight of what she just witnessed. She asks him directly if he is still her brother, her voice trembling as she mentions the possibility of possession by some immortal being. The shift in his power and personality is simply too vast for her to grasp. Lin Xiu lets out a short, dry laugh, teasing her for reading too many fantasy novels. He tries to ease her tension with a familiar, casual response, though the sweat on his brow suggests the effort he's making. He gives her a reassuring thumbs up, insisting that he is as real as it gets. Behind him, the massive, many-eyed silhouette of Asmodeus lingers, its golden eyes glowing with a sinister intelligence that Xiaoyu cannot see. The spirit chuckles within Lin Xiu's mind, nodding that while it isn't possession, a rebirth is a distinction that might be lost on her. Lin Xiu ignores the comment, focusing entirely on his sister. Xiaoyu remains unconvinced, her brow furrowed as she stares at him. The atmosphere in the hallway remains tense despite the thug's departure. She points out the obvious danger. He beat up Zhang Yang's men, and a violent retaliation is almost certain. Her fear for their safety overrides any relief she felt from the thugs being driven away. A mental image of the towering, scarred Zhang Yang looms behind Lin Xiu. He knows all too well that the leader of the Tiger Gang is a man who only understands force and cares nothing for reason. A system notification appears in Lin Xiu's field of vision, detailing Zhang Yang's profile as a level 25 berserker. The threat level is clear, but Lin Xiu's expression remains grimly determined. Xiaoyu notices the dark, calculating look on her brother's face and calls out to him, finding his current expression quite terrifying. She's starting to realize just how much he has changed in such a short time. Lin Xiu instantly softens his gaze and reaches out to pat her head, dismissing the entire situation as a small matter. Xiaoyu swats his hand away, pouting and demanding that he stop treating her like a child. His playful expression vanishes in a heartbeat as he catches a glimpse of her forearm. His eyes widen in sudden alarm, his body tensing as if he's seen a ghost. He roughly grabs her arm, pulling up her sleeve to reveal a large, purple, scaly rash spreading across her skin. Xiaoyu lets out a gasp of surprise, startled by his sudden intensity. The scales are dark and pronounced, a clear sign of the tower-mark disease that has begun to consume her. The sight of it brings back a flood of dark memories for Lin Xiu. He realizes with a sinking feeling that the illness is appearing much earlier and more visibly than it did in his past life. His second chance is already being threatened by a timeline that is shifting against him. Xiaoyu pulls her arm back, her face flushed with embarrassment and discomfort. She tries to hide the mark, her movements quick and defensive. She looks away, insisting that she's fine and telling him not to worry so much. Her attempts to downplay the severity of the disease only deepen Lin Xiu's resolve. She walks toward the kitchen, announcing her plan to change clothes and prepare breakfast. Lin Xiu stands silently in the hallway, watching her go as his mind races with the need for a solution. He reflects on the Tiger Gang's true nature as a dark glove for a powerful consortium, handling the dirty work that others won't touch. To save his sister, he knows he has to dismantle them from the top down. A dark smile plays on his lips as he plans to collect interest on everything the consortium owes him, starting with Zhang Yang. The silhouettes of his future enemies flicker in his mind's eye. He knows their rules better than they do, and he fully intends to use those same rules to crush them. The time for being a victim has long passed. He remembers the crushing despair of his past life when Xiaoyu passed away from the illness because he couldn't afford the treatment. That memory is a fire that drives him forward now. But this time, his rebirth has given him the knowledge he needs to change their fate. His eyes burn with a cold, blue light as he focuses on his goal. Standing tall amidst the ruins of his former life, Lin Xiu knows exactly where he needs to go. The key to his sister's survival lies within the hidden realm of the first floor, and he is ready to take it by any means necessary. Over at the Tiger Gang headquarters, things are not going well. Someone is very, very pissed off. Zhang Yang can't believe it. 3 of his awakened guys went to collect a simple debt and came back empty-handed. He slams his massive fist into the floor, shattering the tiles. The guys he sent are trembling on their knees. Zhang Yang leans over his skull-topped mace, his face twisted in a snarl. He feels like all the money he spent training these losers just went down the drain. The long-haired goon tries to make an excuse, stammering that Lin Xiu was just way too strong for them to handle. Even in his memory, the kid looked like a demon. Zhang Yang isn't interested in excuses. He swings his massive arm, catching the guy right in the face. The force of the blow sends the subordinate spinning through the air. Zhang Yang doesn't even look like he's trying. The guy hits the ground hard, drooling and completely out of it. One hit from the boss was all it took. Zhang Yang just calls them trash. He's got no patience for failures who let a kid walk all over them. He stands tall, declaring that nobody runs wild in the Tiger Gang's territory. His reputation is on the line now. His shadow looms over the remaining men as he grabs his heavy mace. The air in the room is thick with his rage. He orders them to get out there and bring Lin Xiu to him immediately. The goons scramble to obey, shouting their agreement. The gang members rush out of the room, desperate to get away from their boss's wrath. They know they'd better not fail a second time. Zhang Yang's red eyes glow with malice. He can't wait to show this kid the consequences of offending him. Meanwhile, at the gate of a luxury villa district, a security guard is being a total prick. He scoffs at the idea of Lin Xiu having a friend living here. He points a finger right in Lin Xiu's chest, telling him to look in a mirror. To him, the siblings just look like pathetic beggars. The guard sneers, asking if they even think they're worthy of knowing a homeowner in a place like this. He's clearly enjoying the power trip. Lin Xiaoyu leans in and whispers to her brother, wondering if they might have the wrong address. This place does look way too fancy for them. The guard thinks he's nailed it. He accuses them of sneaking around just to find something to steal. Lin Xiu's eyes turn cold and start to glow. He's not in the mood for this guy's nonsense today. As the guard reaches out, Lin Xiu catches his wrist in a vice-like grip. He tells the guy to keep his hands to himself and call the owner of the Zhengshuan residence. The guard winces, his face contorting in pain. He didn't expect the kid to actually fight back, let alone be this strong. Enraged, the guard pulls out his baton and swings it at Lin Xiu's head. He's done talking. Lin Xiu stares him down, his expression completely blank. He warns the guard to let go or he'll kill him right there. A loud horn blares from behind them. A sleek pink car is sitting right at the gate. The driver leans out, shouting at them for blocking the way. He's clearly annoyed that he's been kept waiting. It's Wang Yu, looking stylish with his pink hair and sunglasses. He demands to know why the gate hasn't been opened yet. The guard's attitude flips instantly. He fawns over the young master, claiming he was just busy chasing away these 2 thieves. Wang Yu's eyes widen as he recognizes the person standing there. He hops out of the car, completely ignoring the guard. He greets Lin Xiu with a huge grin, bumping fists like no time has passed. Lin Xiu just gives him a small, calm smile back. The guard keeps babbling, calling them paupers, and saying they even pretended to be Wang Yu's family. He has no idea how much he's messed up. Wang Yu's face goes dark. He asks the guard if he's blind, his anger flaring up instantly. He delivers a sharp kick that sends the guard tumbling to the ground. He's not going to let anyone talk about his brother like that. Wang Yu tells the guy to get lost and never show his face again. The guard scrambles away, terrified and apologizing profusely. Lin Xiu looks at his friend, remembering him from his past life. Back then, Wang Yu was the wealthy heir of the Wang family and his best friend from college. In that timeline, Wang Yu used his family's resources and his own talent to become a famous shield knight. He was a big deal among the awakened. Lin Xiu's expression turns somber as the memories flood back. He remembers the tragic end his friend met. On the 58th floor of the tower, Wang Yu was betrayed. He was used as a meat shield and died a brutal death at the hands of monsters. His death triggered a chain reaction. The entire Wang family fell into ruin, and his parents eventually took their own lives in despair. Back in the present, Wang Yu is just happy to see him. He wonders why Lin Xiu suddenly decided to look him up now. He asks if Lin Xiu has gotten into some kind of trouble. He's always been the type to jump in and help. Lin Xiu just casually mentions that he beat up some of Zhang Yang's men. Wang Yu's jaw drops. He knows exactly how dangerous that gang leader is. Wang Yu is sweating buckets, looking at Lin Xiu in disbelief. He asks how his friend could have provoked a mad dog like Zhang Yang, realizing this is way beyond ordinary trouble. The pink-haired heir starts panicking, checking his surroundings before suggesting they head inside his house to talk privately. Lin Xiu remains perfectly calm, telling him it's fine right where they are. Lin Xiaoyu looks up at her brother, her expression full of uncertainty and worry as the conversation takes a serious turn. Lin Xiu gently places a hand on his sister's shoulder and nudges her toward Wang Yu. He explains that he'll handle the gang situation himself and asks his friend to look after Xiaoyu for a few days. Wang Yu is caught off guard, sweat dripping down his face as he agrees to help. He looks at Lin Xiu with a confused expression, asking why it sounds like his friend isn't staying with them. Lin Xiu closes his eyes for a moment, his face set in a mask of determination. He states that he has something far more important to attend to entering the Tower of Babel. The mention of the tower leaves Wang Yu completely lost, wondering if his friend is talking about some kind of board game. Xiaoyu steps up with a proud smile, announcing that her brother has already awakened as a professional. Wang Yu is shocked, pointing a finger at his friend, while Xiaoyu enthusiastically demonstrates her brother's power with a couple of air punches. She brags about how he effortlessly took down 3 awakened professionals. Lin Xiu looks forward with a sharp, focused gaze. He clarifies that his real goal for entering the tower is to find a permanent cure for Xiaoyu's disease. Purple energy swirls around the young man as he looks up into the sky. He thinks to himself that in this second life, things are going to be different. His eyes narrow, reflecting a cold resolve to change not just his own destiny, but the lives of those he cares about. He vows to save everyone who died in his previous timeline. Behind him, Xiaoyu and Wang Yu are whispering about how much he's changed. Xiaoyu wonders if he's a different person, while Wang Yu jokes that he's always had that constipated look on his face. Lin Xiu's eyebrow twitches as he overhears them, asking if they could at least try to whisper when they're bad-mouthing him. He turns his back on them and starts walking away, hands in his pockets. He reassures Wang Yu that the Tiger Gang won't dare cause trouble here and says he's heading out. Lin Xiu stops in his tracks for a moment, calling out his friend's name one last time. He looks back over his shoulder, his eye glowing with an intense purple light. He gives Wang Yu a cryptic but deadly serious warning. Never, under any circumstances, choose the Shield Knight class. Wang Yu and Xiaoyu are left standing there like statues, completely dumbfounded by the strange advice. A bird flies past as Wang Yu just mutters a confused, huh. The scene shifts to the bustling city at the base of the massive Tower of Babel. Merchants are everywhere, screaming about their potions, materials, and skills to anyone who passes by. A female merchant waves from her stall, promising the strongest armor at honest prices to the crowd of adventurers. Further down the market, an old man with a thick beard and a mechanic's cap shouts about his own fair prices. The area is a chaotic mess of trade and noise. Lin Xiu walks through the crowd, completely ignoring the noise as he keeps his eyes on the tower looming above. A scarred, suspicious-looking man stops him, holding up a glowing green vial. He asks if Lin Xiu is heading to the first floor and offers essential items like rat poison and plague cures. Lin Xiu doesn't even stop, telling the man to give it a rest because the giant rats in the tower have high resistance to those cheap potions. He calls the merchant out for trying to scam people. The merchant is left speechless, staring after the young man in shock. Another traveler nearby wonders if the kid is some kind of seasoned expert. Lin Xiu keeps walking, knowing these black market scammers are likely working for the Tiger Gang. He notes that news of his recent fight hasn't reached this area yet. The merchant scoffs behind his back, looking at Lin Xiu's plain outfit and deciding the kid just read a guide somewhere and is acting tough. Lin Xiu arrives at the foot of the tower, his profile lit by the glowing blue energy of the entrance. He looks up at the massive structure, thinking about the timing of his arrival. The Tower of Babel has been around for a decade, and the first few floors are considered common knowledge. He steps into the blinding white light of the portal. He knows the first floor has been cleared for years, but he's not looking for the usual loot. His body is enveloped in swirling blue energy as he begins the transition into the tower's interior. He recalls that in exactly 1 week, a secret hidden realm within the first floor is destined to be discovered. He remembers how a novice squad from the powerful Xingyao Consortium found that realm by pure accident in his past life. News headlines and auction screens flash in his memory, showing the massive bidding wars that followed. They found the active crystal core, an item that became a global sensation. Lin Xiu's eyes glow with a cold, predatory light. He knows the real reason that core was so valuable. It's the only thing that can fully cure Tower Mark disease. A close-up of his eye reveals the sheer intensity of his focus as the teleportation finishes. Lin Xiu finds himself standing at the edge of a desolate, ruined city. He resolves to seize the crystal core before the corporations can get their hands on it. He stands on a pile of rubble, looking out over the crumbling buildings of the abandoned city. It's a sight he hasn't seen in a long time, and it brings back a flood of distant memories.